Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zack, and today I am driving a 1974 Dodge Monaco. Up front is a 5.3 liter V8, and down below is a 4-speed automatic transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this car because it is a recreation of the Bluesmobile from the hit movie Blues Brothers. The Blues Brothers was one of the most important movies of my childhood. It was one of my favorite movies growing up, and to now be driving a very accurate replica of the Bluesmobile is an absolute childhood dream come true. So I'm excited to share this car and all of its glory with you today. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. But let's get back to that 5.3 liter V8 under the hood. Well, it is an LS engine. This vehicle has been LS swapped. That is A, for longevity's sake and reliability. This is a show car taken around to car shows. It's what it lives its life doing. So you don't want to come out to a carbureted 440 and try to get it to crank over on the morning of Cars and Coffee. So the 5.3 liter went in. The second reason is that this was actually used as a Cannonball Run C2C vehicle and raced across the country in about 34 hours, which is a pretty good time for a vehicle like this. Like I said, paired to it is a 4-speed automatic. It's a 4L80E transmission out of a Tahoe or anything like that. Nothing too crazy, but again, for reliability, for modern parts' sake, that was tossed in. But last but not least, it retains its rear-wheel drive. So no longer does it have cop tires, cop brakes, and a cop motor. It has a, well, Chevy Tahoe engine and tires and things like that. How does it feel to drive the Bluesmobile? Well, first of all, mechanically, it drives and accelerates like a early 2000s Chevy, but then the steering and suspension of the car is still 1970s. So it's this weird mix of technologies. But that doesn't matter, because you're driving the Bluesmobile, and everyone stops and stares, everyone looks at you, everyone smiles and waves, and it is an absolutely fun time. You feel so special driving this car, and everyone's happy to see it. You could park this anywhere, and everyone here in America knows what this vehicle is, and that is what I love. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior, because we do have a lot of stock Monaco stuff, but also not stock. In front of me, I do have the stock gauges for the speedometer, fuel, and alternator, but an added phone mount for a more accurate speedometer. The steering wheel does have the old Dodge logo on it and nothing else beyond that. And off to the left, we have a clock, 2 climate vents, a added switch for an LED light, our standard switches for the headlights and washers, and moving on to the door, we have our spotlight for the old police car, smoker's window, and crank for the standard window. Moving into the center, we do have an aftermarket radio, of course. Climate controls, this was a factory AC car back in 1974. Our cigarette lighter, a little compartment, and an added center console down below. Now, this is running off a Holley Terminator X ECU. As well as we have some fun buttons. The master power and outside speakers will play sound clips from the movie and music from the movie. However, I don't want to get any copyright strikes, so you can imagine, but here's a little list of the movie lines that the speaker system will play. To the left of that, we do have our shifter. This is, of course, an aftermarket shifter. And we have a cop center console with cup holders, so we'll do a big friggin' bottle test. However, it fails, but I got to say that I got to big friggin' bottle test the Bluesmobile. Now, the seats are out of a Subaru WRX STI, and there's two things about it. First of all, the original seat would have been a bench seat, so that's gone with the wind. But you don't really realize how wide these cars are until you put a more modern seat. I have about 6 to 8 inches between the end of the seat and the door, but just something funny that I noticed. However, speaking of seats, we do have the original back seats, so let's go do a backseat review. All right, we're in the back of the 74 Monaco, better known as the Bluesmobile, and this is just so cool. The vinyl seats you really sink into. No support, I mean, it's cushioned, but not like, it's not great back seats, but I'm in the back of a Monaco, and more specifically the Bluesmobile, so This is pretty stinking cool. I do have ashtrays in the doors, manual cranks for the windows, dome light, which I can do red. So cool. This is, I'm surprised I'm getting words out. Let's hop around the back and take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. Right around the back of the Bluesmobile. And as you can see, this is a fuel cell. So this is for a bunch of added fuel. It has its own fuel pump and whatnot for the race from sea to shining sea that this car went on. So very, very cool. Other than that, obviously, it's a Dodge Monaco. It has a giant trunk, and I love to see that. Ah, so cool. Now, we have to talk about the looks, and this is beautiful. This, in the movie, it's supposed to be a Mount Prospect, Illinois used police car, which I think is just, it's so cool. And the speaker on the top is actually made out of flower pots, and the wood is 100-year-old reclaimed wood from a house that got torn down. I mean, it's absolutely wonderful to work with. It is as movie accurate as you could really get, and that's the special part. That's what makes this car so cool. The smile that I've had on my face all day today, knowing that I got to drive the Bluesmobile, has just been astronomical. I cannot recall a time I was as excited to review a car as I was with this here today, and you could tell that by just looking at it. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the Bluesmobile? Well, this has meant more to me than just a car review. Yes, it's cool to review a movie car. Yes, it's cool to review an old Dodge Monaco. I've done a 1960s Monaco, and a decade later, this is what it turned into. That's really cool and special. But the biggest thing is what this movie meant to me. Not only did it take place in Chicago, and it's a wonderful snapshot of the city of Chicago and just Illinois as a whole throughout the late 70s and early 80s. It came out in 1980, but obviously shot the year prior. So that to me is super special. But this was one of my dad's favorite movies, and subsequently is one of my favorite movies. In our basement growing up, we had a giant poster of Jake and Elwood Blues. Anytime we were at any social gathering and my dad offered to get us food, he would look at me and my brother and go, orange whip, orange whip, orange whip, 3 orange whips. Anytime I saw a drawbridge, my right foot itched a little bit, wanting to jump over it like they do in the movie. And of course, anytime I was doing anything I shouldn't have been and asked about it, I would reply with, we're on a mission from God. So this is more than a car review. This is my childhood. This is the warm nostalgia, and it means so much more to me now that I've moved out. I don't live with my parents anymore, and as great as that is to be an adult and living on my own and forging my own path, there are days that I miss being at home. I miss watching movies with my dad in the basement. I miss when my parents would drive me places. I didn't have to worry about parking and tolls and filling up the car. And we would laugh and have a good time. I guess what I'm saying is that I miss seeing the world through the lens of my dad. My dad's my hero. He's my rock star. And so while I'm not with him today, I feel as though I am, because I'm driving something that we shared together. And so maybe Blues Brothers did that for you and your family. Maybe it didn't. Maybe you and your dad were more of Rambo type guys, or Jaws, or whatever it might have been. Hold on to those special things, because one day you're gonna really lean on them. And today, I'm leaning on the Blues Brothers. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Arnie for letting me take out his Bluesmobile. This has been one of the coolest, one of the best, one of the most special reviews I've ever done. Arnie has been absolutely wonderful to work with. This is his personal car, and I love it, love it, love it. Go check out Arnie's social media. It'll be found in the description below. He's the Cannonball record holder for the moment. He's a swell guy, and I just appreciate the heck out of him. But now, to end the video, I get to do something I've always wanted to. It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it. Oh, yeah. Take care, guys.